Ready to do this?
Things so.
We're here to recap our journey
And tell about the
experience.
and the coming end of the journey. That doesn't even sit right with me.
No,
saying
I
that.
thought about like, we need a box of tissues. I'm just gonna get us through this. I really wanted to do it because I don't want to forget.
We're making peace with the idea that we started a business that we were super excited about, that we thought was so dope, and we have to close it down in less than a year. We're working in reverse of what we were trying to do. We're trying to slow down, and now I have to work more in order to pay
That part.
the deficit of this business.
You see it as a failure, but God needed you to go through this for what He has for you.
Yeah.
He needs to prepare you for this. Because
Yeah.
this going through process, this has been a lot.
Yeah, this felt like a therapy session.
Okay, for those watching and don't know what the heck we're talking about, why are we here today?
We are here to talk about our journey of starting another business and what other people don't talk about when the business doesn't work out. Am I right?
And we're also here to share about our content studio space because that's a hot item, a hot business. People want to do it. So we just want to share our experience. We know this in our businesses. I'm in real estate. She's an interior designer and home stager.
Mm-hmm.
And we see it all the time on social media. Like people always want the end. They always want what they see. They don't have any idea of all that goes in behind the scenes.
Yeah, especially we're going to name this Failing Quietly. And we're naming it that because so many people try things they're enthusiastic about. It doesn't work out and they just slowly disappear. Like we discussed, are we just going to delete our Instagram profile and website and just disappear and act like nothing ever happened? Or do we discuss our journey and disappointment?
And I think more so because businesses close. It's one thing when a business is closed, I just feel like this is real quick. I think that's the biggest piece
for you
to swallow. Like, I don't even feel like
the biggest piece for me, because we just opened in May. The biggest piece for me is that our separate businesses, I feel like we've achieved so much. I don't want to say successful, but I think we've achieved so much individually in our businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you start after that,
you expect
it to be like, we know how to market, or we thought we did. We know how to make money and bring in clients and elevate and upgrade our business. I was expecting this to,
without a doubt, this was
we had no doubts in our mind.
None.
Let me tell y'all, Natasha introduced the idea of starting a content studio in 2023, I think.
Yes.
Because we spent that whole year looking for warehouse spaces, commercial spaces.
And I think it might have started in 2022 and we really was like, all right, we're going to do this in 2023.
And only because of how it worked out in the end, that's what made us not have any doubt that it was going to be fine. Like our financials between the two of us was more than qualified us to be approved for a space. But I honestly think because we were a double minority in a field that I think is ran by the non-double minority, we just got blackballed, or they just, people were asking for like $30,000 deposits.
Yeah.
And, or we would get through the whole process, get the lease to look over. We would have questions and then they come back and say, we have another client that we want to give the space to. Like it was just
foolishness. It was
bad. We literally looked for a whole year.
Yeah. And then just to remind you, I'm in real estate, been in real estate for 14 years. We're also investors. She's an investor and she has a real estate license. So we're not ignorant to the real estate field. But I can tell you myself, after going through that experience, I was like, I'm good on commercial real estate. Like,
yeah, it was bad.
It's for some people, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm good with what you have to go through.
So I think after going through all of that and having so much opposition, I feel like towards Christmas time, we kind of started losing hope and we're like, okay, maybe this is not what God wants us to do. That's not the direction He wants us to go in. I feel like we checked out.
Yes.
We had changed agents. He disappeared. He was so nice, but he just disappeared. And I was like, okay, this might be a sign. But then I was bored one day, which is rare, and came across this place and it was so freaking perfect. The landlord was ready to meet us the next day. We walked it. It was everything. It had all the space that we needed and it had everything, like the location, the size, definitely the payment.
Those other places not working out ended up being a blessing because the places we were looking at were double, if not more.
Yeah.
than the place we're in now. So we would have been.
Yeah.
So in hindsight, God saved us from those places not going through.
Yeah.
And then we had to build them out. Like we came in here and didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, except the decorative stuff.
Yeah, the decorative stuff. So it ended up being a blessing.
So we had no doubt. Like it was just, we went ahead and started buying the decor and setting up planning the sets. And
I think you had the sets planned before we even got the space. You had it.
Yeah.
You had it set up from the previous place where we thought we were getting and didn't get.
Yeah.
So you just had to tweak and stuff
to fit this space, right?
Yeah. And by the way, check her out. We didn't even say our names. We sure did not. What's your name? What's the name of your business?
My name is Tamika Green. I am the owner and principal designer of Greg Lewis Interiors. I am an interior designer and home stager.
And I want to say celebrity because she's done some celebrity. So check out her IG profile. She has a home staging course that you should go and purchase. Yes. So I'm Natasha Bazille. I'm a realtor in Georgia. We are located in Georgia, and 14 years. I wrote a book called The Ugly Side of Real Estate. And I specialize in working with new construction, relocation, and also helping agents level up business. So yes, back to our story.
And I feel like we were faith-based in our businesses. We went out on a limb, both of us, when we decided to go full-time with our own businesses. There was just no doubt. Like I'm looking back and I'm trying to think like, where did we mess up? Or did we mess up? Where did we read the messages wrong? Or where did we read the blessings wrong?
This is something I pray God. I feel like he's helping me to accept that, okay, we are not renewing this lease and we are going to let it go, which saying it, just being in this space because it just feels so good.
Every time
it just,
we walk in here,
people come in here, they love it. It's beautiful, but it's just not doing well enough for us to keep it going, but just love being here.
So the main reason of starting this business was we wanted to do something that was kind of on autopilot. When you book this studio, you're booking online. It's self-entry. You know what time you need to be here. You know what time you need to leave. So it was hands off for us.
Yeah. So that was big because we were already so busy in our prospective businesses. We knew multiple streams of income. Like we realized the importance of that. We wanted to do that. Plus, we've always been business minded. Like this is not the first business that we did.
No.
So it was just natural that I felt like both of us coming together, like this is something that we can do together. And this, we went in thinking that it was going to be hands off.
For me, though, it wasn't even like another stream of income. I wanted to slow down.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Okay.
Oh, me too.
So I wanted to completely stop that at some point.
Oh, yeah.
I knew this was going to overlap and we were hoping this was going to be our saving grace. Like we've been going, friend. Like we've been going for a long time.
Yeah, long time.
I've been working since I was 15. I think you were too.
Yeah. And we've known each other since middle school.
We tired, friend.
We made it out of the trenches. Yeah. And this was just going to be one because we still remember we were doing monthly accountability meetings and we were talking about other things. So like this was one and then
your book was another. And all of those were hands off where we're not on the grind every single day.
Yeah.
That was the plan. And in this content studio, and then thinking that this content studio was going to be the biggest part of it. And even if I didn't have to stop interior design or home staging completely, I definitely needed to scale back for like my own mental health.
Yeah. That mental health piece, I'm seeing it a lot in post. I'm seeing people saying either they're pivoting, they're switching careers, they're trying something different, but that burnout is real.
Yeah. It's too hard to recover. For me, it's too hard for me to recover from it.
But then you wait to catch 22, 9 to 5? Something for it.
No, ma'am.
But there has to be a balance. I said there has to be a balance, but is there ever really, like they say work-life balance, is there ever really a balance? But I feel like it's very easy when you go into entrepreneurship to work 24/7. I feel like even if you're not physically working, your mind's going.
Yeah.
Whereas in a 9 to 5, you have that luxury of you clock out, your work is done, and you're off. That is not that way in entrepreneurship. So
yeah,
I know some people have felt shamed, like they just have a 9 to 5 job. If that's what you want, boo, be okay with that.
And now the new thing is like being ashamed that you're going so hard that you're hitting burnout. There's a lot more people now saying like, I'm ready to pump the brakes. Some people have no choice than to pump the brakes, but a lot of people are more accepting of it. Where before, if you ain't going hard, like, you're not really doing anything. Yeah, like no more grinding for me.
No,
I've been grinding for a long time. We've been grinding.
Yeah, we've been grinding for a long time. Kind of the grind culture to us feeling like we just like workhorses. Like we just got to keep producing and keep like, no, like our life is not supposed to be meant like this. But when it's almost like you come from the bottom, like you're gonna make it, you're gonna grind until you produce something. And then once you get there, it's like, okay, now we're going for the next thing. And now it's the next thing. So
Yeah.
I remember you saying like, because we reached some numbers. I remember you saying like, no, I'm okay. I'll cut back and I'll be okay here if I'm at peace.
Yeah.
And I'm good.
I needed peace of mind. Yeah. I remember I always relate back to 2021 because I'm like, I don't ever want to get there again. Where like I would hear my email notification, a text message, my ringtone on my business phone and just want to cry or throw up or like, how did I let it get that bad to where I was praying for my phone to ring all those years. And now that it's ringing and now that I have all these notifications, it's like, oh my God, make it stop. Like I'm literally about to throw up. Like I would have that throw up feel in my stomach. I wanted to cry because I just didn't want to look to see like, what is it somebody needs next?
It's because you're handling so much. And we are so grateful for all that we have achieved. So don't get that mixed up.
Yeah.
Like we are no way complaining because I remember when you called me, I was at keeping them jobs. Yes. And of course I was a business manager and you called me and told me how you would take your car for oil change. Was it an oil change? Get your car done. And then you stopped at the model home and then she ended up being like the head of the model.
The sales manager of the builder, award-winning home builder. And I didn't even know at the time. Like I was just fascinated with model homes and decor. And I was just stopping in and she just happened to be there at that community. And it went from there. Hired me the next day as a design consultant for that company.
I was like, nothing but God. You
were
absolutely teaching nothing but God. So we know, like, nowhere are we complaining.
Yeah.
But would you say at some point you kind of lose connection? You kind of didn't adjust when I don't know.
I don't know that I lost focus because I love interior design so much and staging so much that, like you said, when you could work 24 hours, for me, it didn't even feel like work because I loved it so much. So I think that's where I went wrong because I just kept going because I loved it so much, but I didn't realize like, you're going to have to get more than 4 hours of sleep a day. You know, like the money looks good, but I couldn't even function. Like it was bad. Handling too many clients, didn't want to say no. Oh, there's so much stuff we could talk about.
Yeah.
Like the boundaries. Yeah. I think I was 10, 12 years into my business before I was like, I need to make a cutoff time. I would have clients texting me at like midnight asking about a pillow. And I would answer because I want to serve my clients. And I think we were like at a friend's house hanging out and I'm answering about this pillow. And then it dawned on me. I think that's when y'all told me like,
do not disturb. Yeah, I have my hours in my email. Like I got a text last night at 8. Like my business hours are, they already knew. They were like, sorry for the late text. I still ain't respond. I responded to them when my hours started this morning. But it's implementing those boundaries. But I think in the beginning, you just so happy to have the business run. And then and another thing, you just want to check it off your to-do list. You don't have to have it, I got to get back to them. But one thing I just thought of was, because someone might be thinking, well, yeah, you were doing all that, taking on all that. Like at some point you need to scale in business. So you need to hire.
Have I ever hired somebody and fired somebody? Probably too much.
Why?
I think the mindset of people now, like they want to be paid the most money to do the least. For me, I always envisioned if I hired an assistant, they were going to be like, I didn't want to treat them like an assistant. I wanted to treat them like a partner. Like, because if I'm winning, you're winning. If this company blows up, you're coming with me.
Yes, help you win, but also I want to learn from you because I remember you interning with other head designers in Atlanta. Like, where is that mentality at? Because it seemed like the people just see pretty pictures and like, I could decorate, I could put pillows on a couch. Let me do this. And then when they get on site and they really got to work, like, trust me, it's the same thing in real estate.
Yeah.
People, let me just get my real estate license. No, it's work.
I feel like a lot of people are trying to coast. I feel like we put in the work, so we deserve to coast right now.
Heck yeah, man.
We've hustled, but I come across a lot of people that just they just want to do the bare minimum.
I was hoping all this time that there would be a young designer that would want to help you win and then also learn from you so that you could pay it forward. Ultimately, I want to pay this forward. Like, why learn all this, do all this to just have it end with me? Like, I want to pay it forward, but I want to pay it forward to the right. I have zero tolerance for foolishness and time wasted. I'm not about to call and wake you up to come to the job that you're supposed to be at.
The younger interns that I've had or assistants, they were
worse.
It's just that mindset. Like everything's so easy for them now. Like we used to have to look up things in an encyclopedia, go get it off the shelf and open the book. Like everything is so. I used to have to map out my route before I went certain places. I'm telling my age right now.
Yeah,
I
remember Google Maps? You have to print it out.
Yes. So everything is just so easy handed to them now. They're expecting that with a job too. Like, I don't want you to feel like you're doing me a favor by showing up or doing what you're supposed to do. Agreed, I would pay you for.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was babysitting.
I've also seen this in other businesses. Like I know these sisters that have a med spa and also nurses. Like they were trying to scale as well. And after a while, after trying so much, they was like, we're taking it back. It's just me and her. Like they're done. But then I'm like, you have that. Then you have big companies. So it's possible the money behind them to hire somebody from HR to handle that. But when the owner has to wear all the hats, oh, that's where you're going to burn out. You're the cleaner,
accountant.
Yes.
Marketing.
Let's not. Social media is going to be a whole other. And this algorithm that I would punch dead in the face.
Do you think that social media is the downfall because of how much social media changed and how much it plays a part in the success of any business? Do you think that social media is the downfall of Meraki Studios not doing what it's supposed to do?
Yeah, if it played a part, I would say it might have played 25%. I feel like the bigger piece of it, relying just on social media. You cannot start any business relying on social media.
It's not like we were sitting back. I think more of my reliance was on social media because I see people don't even have websites anymore. Like social media is...
Yeah, that's what we thought it was going to be enough.
But we've jumped in the car and passed out flyers.
Yeah, I don't think we did it enough. Now seeing what it takes going into it, I think we were supposed to be doing that once a week. We were supposed to be doing that stuff on a consistent basis. Like just how we have tasks for our individual business, we used to have tasks for this that we were doing, which we didn't start for this to be another full-time thing to take on. But I think that's what it takes now.
Now, right. Because I'm thinking like when I started Greg Lewis Interiors, I was not putting flyers out. Like I literally built my business off social media. Yeah, I feel like my business was built on social media and the right person seeing me and it all trickled from there. So I kind of had that same hope with Meraki that
once it got out there,
yeah, like just get it on social media and let it does for everybody else. But then I feel like the algorithm plays a huge part in it. And I just feel like we're just bamboozled every time we paid the boost and spending all this money to boost. It wasn't until one day that I saw, because I remember boosting working at one point for Greg Lewis. And it wasn't until I saw another person complaining that they're dumping all this money in boosting and they felt like that they were just taking their money and not really doing what they were supposed to be doing. And I was like, yes, because there's definitely a change. There's definitely a change. So now we can't boost, or we can boost, but we just be flushing money down the drain. We're really just posting it, hoping that the right person is going to catch it. And then they're going to tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. I wish I knew the answer. Like, I don't.
Yeah. And it's what really got me that even if somebody were to come to us and be like, here's $50,000, keep a studio. I don't have a magic button. I have things we can try, but I don't have a.
So if somebody gave you $50,000, you're saying you wouldn't even know what to do to keep it alive. If you got $50,000 to set, I'm just kidding. Because we're going to try. So you saying that means that it was the finances that?
Yeah, because we exhausted our finances. Like we put a certain money aside to start this business. We've exhausted that.
So if we had the funds right now to be able to boost posts, you think you would still be
I'd be paying somebody for ads. I'd be trying some different things.
But we did that. You don't think we spent enough?
I don't think we spent enough. Let's dive into the content studio. You mentioned that, we got the space. We were excited. You had the designs already. I remember, and I'm going to put in this B-roll of us coming here with the furniture getting delivered. We have furniture at our house, coming here, unboxing, setting up, you having your vendors come in to paint, put up wallpaper. Yeah. Those are all good memories.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Those will always.
There were nights that we were here setting up till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I did not feel bothered. Like I was so freaking
We
excited.
had many late.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just remembered that we had many late meetings.
Yeah, get here early and then be here all night, just prepping everything behind the scenes, prepping everything.
The website.
Yeah.
Like how is it going to work? How they get in? Like figuring out all the logistics.
And it didn't bother me. It felt like we were on the right track.
Yes, it really did.
Before we opened, when everything was set up, I want to say it was before our launch, the night before our launch, we were here till late.
Okay.
our launch party, and we prayed. We prayed so hard, friend. We put holy water in the corner. We were ready. It was set up. We were ready to go.
If you had to, like, on a scale, like, what percentage of doubt did you have that this wasn't going to work?
At what point?
In the beginning.
In the beginning, before we even got the space?
No, once we got the space.
Once we got this, before we started setting up and...
No, it's ready to go.
Before the launch, 5% maybe.
5%.
And only because I had launched my course, the year before, and it didn't do what I wanted it to do. So I had some perspective of there's a chance that it might not work, but I was so confident. What about you?
I want to say 0. I just knew this thing is fine. And we don't have to get all the share of the market. We just need a little bit.
Yeah.
We need a little bit. So
do you think the market is oversaturated with content studios?
Now I do think they have a lot more options to go to. They have a lot more options and people are getting more creative. They can have their space. They can make anything look like content. I know someone who booked a space. It was trash. She was so upset. It was before we opened. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. Went to this known content space. The bathrooms were dirty. The lights didn't work. There were no dressing room. But when you're just taking a picture, so you don't need to be glamorous. But I love that we provide a space that it feels like home. Like you feel comfortable here.
Yeah.
Where it's clean. Like I'm glad that we provide that, but I feel like some people are just fine taking shortcuts. They don't.
Oh yeah, that's not either of our business ethics.
No.
Like we're not.
And I feel the people that book, they're not accepting that either because they want.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask you another question. Oh, you mentioned that other people are starting to get creative now. So you think that's a big part of it too? Or is the content studio idea phasing out? Well, yeah, it kind of goes along with what you said. Like they're finding other creative ways. I have clients that put content studios in a room in their house.
Yeah. And the bigger picture is, I think we just thought it was going to be hands off. I feel like somebody could open a content studio tomorrow. It do well, but just know you go and add it with some work because I'm seeing the content studios, either they're sending out promotions like this month we're doing this, and this month we're doing link. Either they have a photographer on site or they are the photographer. Like you just have to, or they're using their space in multiple ways. So maybe it's an event in the evening or at nights or something.
I thought about that. I wonder if the content studios that are doing well is because they have it's the content studio of a photographer, or they have like a designated on-site photographer.
I would put money on it that it's because they're a photographer. So now you charging, I'm okay regardless. Because most photographers free if you use my space.
Yeah.
So photography ain't cheap.
Yeah.
2 photography clients cover everything up, let alone rent our space and use it how you want.
I felt that what set us apart was the sets. A photographer can have a studio, but what does it look like?
I love you. You're the bomb designer. I think your hair is bomb, but
you've seen some?
Yeah, I think they're okay with what they get.
The people who are booking.
Yeah, they
don't care about
I don't think they're looking through a designer. I've seen some people like DIY the heck out of some stuff. And I'm like, but people gonna book this space. Maybe that's a caliber of client. And I also had that thought, and I've mentioned this to you before, like, okay, did we spend, if I had to do it over again? So I want to say we should have spent less money on setting it up right. So we could have had more in reserve. However, at the time,
I don't even know how to do anything mediocre.
We had the funds at the time. We had the funds and we didn't have the time. So it wasn't like, hey, let's go out here and try to find a bargain, a dope chair at bargain prices. It's possible, but it takes time. We did not have the time.
Yeah.
So we were like, listen, I remember when you sent me that yellow couch and he was like, I think the one we were going to get was out. And you were like, well, I found this one. And I was like, run it. Run it.
Get it. We'll make it back. That's how confident you were.
I was run it.
You didn't even hesitate.
Didn't even hesitate because I just knew. And then I say that though, that we should have spent less, but then we still ain't spend full price on stuff because you had your designer connects. I don't know. Like, I want to say like, wow, can we ever talk about this? This ain't got to be talk number 1, but please, at some point, can we, if you don't want to let me know now, because
I'm still, even though I'm disappointed that we're going to have to close this down, I'm still, every disappointment that I've ever had in my life, like it could be a year, 5 years later, I'm like, oh,
yes.
That's why that happened, God. So I'm curious to see, like, was God we had several businesses together back in the day, fashion design. Hey, we did good.
I done got you in the MLM. We don't work a corporate job together.
Is this God telling us or just showing us that we need to partner and work together again? But then,
what would make you think that? Because look how this happened.
Like, he just showing us, like, y'all, because we did good.
Yes.
We're good business partners.
Yeah.
We're good.
It was never feeling like she ain't doing this. Well, I got to do
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I feel like we're super good. So did he just need for us to have this? Maybe I'm getting too deep into it.
No.
Like I just hate how much money we dump. Especially we're working in reverse of what we were trying to do. We're trying to slow down, and now I have to work more in order to pay
that part,
the deficit of this business.
Yeah, that part. You see it as a failure, but God needed you to go through this for what He has for you.
Yeah.
He needs to prepare you for this. Because this going through process.
Yeah. When we have to come in here and take this wallpaper down, or when we open up the doors and start selling this furniture, I can't tell you how I'm going to handle that. Like I already feel like I was on the verge of depression. I hate using that word. I wasn't good. I wasn't in a good space mentally back in October when I realized like, okay, this ain't getting better. And we're approaching our lease renewal. I think I had made up that time in October too. Like I was going to stop doing interior design and just focus on home staging. So now my income is slowing down even more, but I needed that piece. Still have no regrets about that. Mm-hmm. So I think that all kind of hit me at one time, and that's when it started going downhill for me mentally. I need to figure out how to make peace with it before we actually close the doors.
Your mouth to God's ears. He's in charge of all things. And just an honest moment, I feel like I could be honest with God. As you said, I held on as long as I'm like, God can snap his finger. God can wink his eye. He can flutter an eyelash, and
he can,
and just everything would be okay. An influx, like it would be so easy. It might have been December. I'm still like,
I know,
make a way. I'm still trying to see how this is gonna work out and trying to talk to people.
I wasn't even mad at you for your optimism, though. I felt bad because I didn't have that type of optimism.
I get why you did it, but it's almost like you had started prepping me. I remember from September, you were like,
looking at them numbers.
Yeah, so you started prepping me, but I was still like,
hey, we still got time. Like you said, God can change something.
He could send a brand to say, hey, we need to book out your space for the next 6 months. He could. I more so want to make peace with this because I thrive on hope and optimism. I don't want this to make me shrink back from doing anything in the future. Mm-hmm. That's really why I want to make peace with it. Mm-hmm. Make peace with it, or just, I accept if this is how it's going to happen, but I need some type of like you said, like, what did we miss? What signs did we read incorrectly? So I know going forward. So if you've ever been in a space like this, and please let us know how you came through it. So let's touch on the launch party. So before the launch party, to start promotions, we reached out to some select people, had pictures. And maybe I'm looking through a jaded lens. You can't tell me the studio's not fire. And shout out to Greg Lewis Interiors, because she's the one that decorated. I helped with the hands-on muscle, but she's the one that came up with the designs. I think it's fire. I think our photos and everything that we took to promote the space, that was bomb. So I just was real confident.
Yeah.
Then we decided to hold a launch party. We had family, friends, we reached out to photographers and invited them, and they came through. We expected some more. Well, I just know that people, when it comes to RSVPing, they don't have etiquette. Some people will RSVP, don't
it's
show
so
up.
Bad.
Or they say, yeah, I'm gonna come, and then they don't, so I just have to accept that happens in any industry. It happens in real estate.
It's so bad though. Like people,
it's ridiculous.
If you know you RSVP'd for this launch party and didn't show up, you on my list. Anyway.
Yeah. And the people that came, I feel like it was good. It was a good lunch party. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Would you have done anything differently?
As far as the launch party, no.
Okay. I see people like doing like ribbon cuttings and
a lot of people are doing that with the city. And that's a question I have for you, because we decided way in the beginning that we were going to be silent owners. Do you think now looking back, why do we want to be silent owners?
I know.
Do we want to say why?
Oh, I know for me, I'm in real estate. I don't feel like it's getting me any more support, or people are just supporting me just because, I see her face. I feel like, I've had a successful business in real estate. I've had clients that want to work with me, but still feel like I got to grind there too and keep going. I don't feel like some people, you put their face on stuff and people are just going to follow, follow. I don't feel like I have that presence or that face to where, it's her, let me go support. Okay. I don't feel like I have that. So I didn't feel like it was going to be any benefit of putting my name on.
Right. And I agree. Do you, now looking back, do you think that we should have let people know, like, me and Tasha have a new business, or they don't know us by name, like, I have a new business?
On one part, I want to say maybe halfway through when we saw, it ain't going how we wanted. Maybe halfway through, we could have been like, okay, let's try it and see if this will help. We could have tried that. But then on the other piece, I didn't want my real estate clients to think, oh, she's too busy
with this business.
So let me not contact her. That was one thought that I had. Not that I would have been, because I had somebody tell me that they see me videos and they thought I was too busy, which was bull. Even though you called me several times to have me go to your house and all that
I've heard it
stuff.
all.
But yeah, that was your reasoning. So yeah, I still maybe trying halfway through, but I still thought our intent in the beginning, because one of the biggest content studios here in Atlanta, we didn't know who owned that studio up until recently. They were doing well, not being known. So we was like, let's take that approach.
How did they blow up? I always felt like we were kind of on their level. What do you think is it?
Yeah, as far as the space, you come in there, it's clean. I want to say upscale, but one of our reviews, she said it, I think she called it luxury. I don't know. It's a term. Like, we just didn't throw this together yesterday.
Right.
A lot of
thought in the design and the set. And right.
Yeah. I feel like when they started, there weren't a lot of content studios up, for one. And then I feel like they ended up having to pivot because, okay, we need to do something different. Maybe let's try showing who we are now because we got so much competition. I think, like, why all of a sudden did they now show who they were?
Well, from my experience with my design business, it takes that one person who everybody follows. They just have to mention your name. And
so somebody put them on.
Yeah, like people, what's the saying? People don't like you until it's cool to like you, until they see that or people don't follow you until they see that it's cool to follow you, or people don't call you until they see that it's cool. Like, it's sad that that's how it is, but that's how it is.
You mentioned it earlier, like anybody that are along those lines, like we know people that could have cared enough to say, oh, you started a new business. Let me do that for you. You can't expect anything from anybody, but it's also, I'm just like, everybody come from a different cloth. Like a lender, he did a home buyer's journal. I ordered it. I'm up there recording content just because I want to. Like, I like seeing people do good. I want to see people win.
Oh no, there's people that want you to pay them to, or they want to barter to even mention your name.
Just like if people got pictures taken here, they share it. They don't tag Meraki. We have signs that say, please tag us. They still don't tag us. I don't know what that is.
It seems simple to me. Maybe there's something somebody can explain or tell us why that's so hard for some people, or maybe they don't understand the importance of or the effect of just mentioning somebody. It's just a tag.
It's just a share to a story.
Yeah. Or are we looking at it like, obviously it's not as simple as we think it is.
We set up on our website. We got that part figured out. We eventually got on some other platforms, which thank God we did. Would you say more bookings came in on the other platform than our
website? Yeah.
Which we paid for SEO optimization.
I actually got the most current report. That's kicking in now. And I'm like, this is too late. I see a difference now.
One thing I want to touch on is like the actual operating of the studio. I thought it was going to be harder than it was. Well, probably because we weren't as busy as we thought. I remember thinking we got to get cleaners on deck and such. But figuring out the access to the studio, that was a blessing.
Yeah.
And then us being able to alternate, just coming in and making sure the studio was clean.
Like we were just really optimistic, like social media marketer and accountant and set up QuickBooks, and we are doing that all by ourselves.
Was that wrong though? Like, are you not okay? I guess you know what? We did listen to, but it's somebody big like that. And he said every month he's still going through all his numbers. So at some point, you always need to be hands-on and involved. So maybe we should have started off. And I remember you saying or I think we were just decided like, okay, we'll do this until things pick up. But I think start that way. Start until you need a reason to scale. But I was coming in thinking we scaling off grit because we don't be that busy. We need to set up scale. I don't even know what to say. Like, can laugh. At least we can laugh.
What would have made me think, knowing how hard I hustle for Greg Lewis Interiors, what made me think that this was going to come in here and it's going to be like, oh, wake up, like you said, in the calendar. Like, I mean, part of it is I just didn't even think I had it in me to go hard on setting up a whole new business, starting from scratch again. We're 15 years or more in,
still working through this, making adjustments to feel better. And when I say I want to repeat it last year, when I'm telling you, I felt like a thread. Add one more thing to my plate and I'm popping.
Wow, I had no idea.
Maybe not all the time, but it's definitely sometimes. I remember getting up feeling that way. I'm like, how you get up feeling stressed and frustrated?
Already?
Yes.
Just thinking about your day ahead of you.
Yes. Like I won't be physically working, but my mind is going constant. So to say, add on, tell me then that we would have had to add on all this to make this successful.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to happen.
Lord, not Punch in the gut.
Yes, another punch in the gut. Because I'm like, I'm gonna put real estate on the side. I'm still working now. I'm still putting out the content. I'm still doing the attraction. I'm still doing things. But at the time, I'm like, we getting Meraki set up, Meraki going, because then that's going. So now, Meraki set up, it ain't producing. Real estate ain't producing. So now I got two hands of, I don't want to say nothing, but
once you realize you need to pivot back to that, it'll be easier to get back on track again.
with real estate, on one hand it is, but I still know I'm not doing this forever. So is it easier? Am I going back like, hello, old friend, I loved you then? I'm looking at it now. This is my job. Like, people got to work jobs all the time while they build their passions.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Like, I love helping people, but I wrote a whole book called Ugly Side of Real Estate. There is a whole other piece of that comes. Yo, you've seen it.
No.
So you've seen it firsthand.
Bless your heart.
So that part, the emotional side of it, wears. And I knew years ago, like, I was like, I can't emotionally handle this for an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the wise agents, they come in and they're in production, they're doing numbers for a certain period, then they branch off and build a team. And then,
and then let the team do the...
Yes, or they build, go into another field or, something else. But managing people and emotions for years and years, that's draining. So,
and the people that have been able to like build up and start a team so that they can, like, that's an art.
Because we just talked about scaling and hiring people that don't want to do nothing. So finding those gems, you gotta kiss toads before you get to the princes and princesses that's really going to be there. But yet and still, I have this burning desire. We both have had this burning desire to have businesses for entrepreneurship. That hasn't gone away.
What? Going back to a 9-to-5?
I'm going to Indeed and seeing who hiring. I sure have. I have.
Don't call me, complain about them people.
Just sit in front of them on hiring day. I'm going to be the best employee. I don't even have it in me.
Or calling in to tell them that you're not going to be in, and almost like you're asking for permission, or you're running late, or you need to take a day off. I gotta ask somebody I gotta wait for your approval to take this day off. I can't do it. We are too far in.
Okay, now let me say this, God, if that's what you have for me
to go back to a 9-to-5,
I will accept it. If that's what God had for me and gave me peace about it, like, I would accept it. If that's what God had. But I don't have peace in my heart. But that's not what I feel in my heart.
Yeah, that's not what He has for you. But I get it. If that's what He wants, you'll ride with it.
I'll ride with it. So we have been strong on being business owners. So that's a burning desire that I have, and that has not gone away.
Mm-hmm.
Be entrepreneurs. And I still have a burning desire to have a brick and mortar business.
You do.
As crazy as that sounds, I loved everything about this.
But do you love the brick and mortar because it's the type of business that it is?
That's a point. Because if you told me I had to, like, I don't want a business where I have to go sit in the business 24/7, 7 days. You're right. So maybe like a laundry mat or something where I'm off hands, but I own a bit, like it's a business. I want that, but I don't want to be sitting on site. I still want.
I feel like I might be the opposite.
Really? You don't want nothing else to do with a brick and mortar place?
No. But if it was like something where I had to do like shipments out of if people are ordering and I don't have to be brick and mortar. I mean, I guess it depends on what it is.
Speaking of that, like the operation of this, I think did we already touch on that? That the operation was pretty easy, like maintaining the space. Thank God. Yeah. I went on one of our booking platforms.
Wait, hold that thought. Do you think that if it was busier, we would be able to maintain it like we do now? Do you think that it just feels easy because we're having like sporadic bookings?
Yes, definitely. I think at that point we would have to hire somebody.
Okay.
So I think we were able to manage as is. And I think it was a blessing that the people that we've had booked have been good. Because I read on one of our booking platforms where these people tore her space.
I'd be curious to know what her rate was. Because they say like the less you charge, least they see your value. Or
yes, and it was in the comments because some people said that they used to have a space that attracted that type of clientele, so they had to change it. But her space was an event space, and they bought like cake and it was like mashed into the carpet and stuff like that. So
do you remember what you were about to say before I cut you off?
No, that was it.
Okay.
That was it. And like some people were like, they charge extra if they're like bringing confetti and stuff like that are going to be a pain to clean. So thankfully we have had great people.
Mm-hmm.
Respected the place, left the place in good condition. So I'm very grateful for that. What I realized is you could be hands off eventually. You can't come in being hands off. In our businesses, we felt like, okay, we went hard. Now we can scale back.
Yeah, that's exactly why I thought this was going to be like, oh, yeah.
We can just start it like that. It's going to scale. I think we had to go hard hard, and then scale back as.
I can't even tell you that I had it in me
No,
to
I know.
go hard.
We would not have started this business had we known it was going to take as much to make it successful, because that's not what we were looking to do.
So
We
a more
truly-
solid or thought out marketing plan.
Yeah, and we would have known we were going to have to be hands-on. It sounds now, and I know I'm going to look back and kick myself. And why didn't you try such and such? And the truth moment, which I had to be real with myself, it's several times I was like, every week, you need to have your Meraki time. You need to be reaching out to these people. It didn't get done.
You had that written down?
In my
You're
mind,
saying,
no, yes, at certain points, I was like, okay, I need a Meraki 5. You're going to do 5, and you're going to contact 5 people a day. I don't even think I did it a handful of times. So apparently it wasn't that important to me, which I hate saying it. When I saw it was going to take effort, I still ain't do it. But then keep in mind, we talked about our businesses. We got families. We got children. So it is not like we was out twiddling our thumbs, but we be tired.
you do a lot, friend.
You talking about me? I feel like I'm getting more sleep than you.
You do a lot, but you're very good with balancing your time. What time did I text you last night? 9 o'clock? You was out.
Yeah, I'm
you
trying
were
to
out.
do better.
Yeah, kudos to you. Like when you're waking up, I'm just going to sleep. But I feel like you have a good balance. Like you have a husband, you have younger children.
I got to do something different. And I feel like I'm getting up earlier so I can have some God time, some reflection time. Because I'm like, whatever I miss, I need to get a deeper connect. I don't need to repeat this.
For the record, I just heard yesterday that 2024 was the worst year for a lot of entrepreneurs.
Content studios got hyped after the pandemic, and there was a lot of money circulating. Everybody had the money, living it up. They were spending. So people are now pulling back. And again, they getting creative. They doing such and such.
So you think people just don't have the money to book this place?
Either they don't have the money or they don't have a need to. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but I know that played into it as well. The money is not flowing in the economy.
So basically what I'm hearing is the marketing could have been better. Content studios just might not be a thing anymore. I felt like that when I started my Airbnb. I felt like I jumped on the bandwagon too late.
Every time I see an ad for start your Airbnb, I'm like,
no,
okay,
no way.
but you know what? Somebody gonna buy that course, so they still gonna make their money.
So yeah, maybe we just missed the mark. I feel like that's the story of my life though. Like I put out my course when everybody stopped putting out courses. There was some people like copying and pasting, and even there was a lot of, fraudulent stuff going on. But there was a moment in time when putting out a course was like the hot thing. There was a moment in time when starting an Airbnb was a hot thing. So there was probably a moment in time when having a content studio was a hot thing. And we just kind of came in. So as great as it could be, if there's not a need for it or if it's not a hot thing anymore, then we're just going to be struggling forever.
And it doesn't help that I already know that I'm a late adopter. Somebody come out with something, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna sit back and watch and wait. That does not serve us in the business.
Yeah.
You need to hop in.
But for me, like the Airbnb, like I wanted to learn the business and take the courses and sit back and see how it was doing too before I jumped in. It just took me a little too long, especially with an investment like that. Like I definitely want to do my homework, but my homework just took a little longer than
because you're also doing
right, exactly,
everything else. And then my brother, rest in peace, I'll never forget, he told me I was on my way from UGA, my last full-time job. And he had a business in St. Thomas. And he said, you have to find a problem and create a solution. That's how you have a successful business. So his business in St. Thomas was glass repair. Only business on the island. It may be more now that did glass repair. They have hurricanes all the time. So now he getting calls for that. Plus my windshield broke. So he started that business and very successful off of it. I'm thinking more about it because that's the only way to guarantee. If you think about the businesses that will never go out of business, funeral homes, somebody always gonna pay. Hospitals, somebody always gonna get sick. You have to identify a problem. This does not solve a problem. Was this ever going to be something that was long term? Even if it did well, was this ever going to be a long term thing?
No.
Yeah, just like these hookah shops, something else is going to come in. I think they get in, they ride the wave while it's good, and then they get out. Airbnb, they ride the wave while it's good,
and then they get out. They have a plan. No, I never thought about what's our exit plan. In my mind, I didn't even think this was going to be the end all be all. I just didn't even think past opening and making it work. But you make a very good point.
I'm just making it now, friend.
I feel like, I don't know why that just was a
aha moment.
Yes. And I feel like that's where my peace is going to come from. Just realizing this wasn't going to last forever anyway. So you shut down now or you shut down in 3 years. It was going to come to an end. I guess
it's the financial part of it.
Oh my God. That is eating me alive. I want to slow down working. I do not want to have to go work to be able to pay for this studio.
And then paying for a business that's closed.
Yeah. You live and you learn. I'll just keep dumping it on my therapist.
She's going to be like, God, Nothing else. You gonna go in there, she gonna be on the couch like, you sit there in that chair.
Yeah. But that, I mean, yeah, we were going to have to look at that. See, we needed to have this conversation. We were going to have to pivot at some point anyway. Now's the time that we start thinking about what our next move is.
Yeah, we said we're going to go back to our accountability meetings because those were
so good.
Yeah.
And effective.
This is not going to be the end. God is going to, we have both seen God turn things around. So we could wake up one morning and have such peace. God could send something that will wipe out everything and we be made whole. Like, I still believe it. The answer may not come how we're expecting it. Like, well, I'm going to wake up and the whole calendar is going to be booked solid. Every hour is going to be booked. That's the answer I've been expecting.
And I would be okay with that. I'd be okay with that because then I'd be like, okay, this could have only been God. You wake up and the whole calendar's booked, or the phone rings and it's Tyler Perry want to come film here or do an interview here. Like, I'm still open to it. Savior is coming in, or if a rescue squad is coming in to save us, I'll be okay with it.
It also gives me peace knowing that I just thought their failures were in the beginning. Like, they failed in the beginning and then now they got it and they know how to apply going forward. I didn't know there's like success.
That's why it's so disappointing to me. But no, which is the whole reason why we're calling this failing quietly, because I feel like the people that fail, they're not sitting here and doing a video about it. It takes like just a few more people that are like, yeah, this ain't work and I'm shutting my business down. But the guts it takes to do that, I think why it's so hard is because, like I said, we've achieved a lot of things with our businesses. I almost feel ashamed. I'm embarrassed, or I was, because clearly I'm not embarrassed now for sitting here in front of this camera. But yeah, it was a lot of shame and embarrassment. Like, girl, how you got in a successful business and you couldn't make that work? Not only could you make it work, like you're in a financial deficit because of this business that you started. Now you have to continue working. You're going to be back in the real estate streets on Monday, and however long I'll be decorating more houses and staging more houses. Like, there's no slowdown in my near future.
There's no slowdown, but I'm not giving up, man. No.
You're not giving up on the studio? You're not giving up on another?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're not giving up.
The thought I had was that...
Are you going to make me cry on these people's camera?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
What?
No. Like, we had our families here. Your dad was coming to this.
Oh my God, we are not talking about that.
I'm like, on one hand, it's good for the kids to know. And I was transparent with them, letting them know, like, y'all pray, like, we need more bookings so they know. So I think in the big grand scheme of things, they'll be able to see, like, well, hey, my mom had a business that wasn't successful.
At least they've seen a business that wasn't successful.
Okay, so they know this isn't just a normal thing. I don't want this to make them scared to try.
Or anybody. Right, our families or anybody. Right. So this video is not to like make anybody afraid, but it's our truth right now, and it kind of caught us off guard.
And maybe it might help somebody like that's thinking, oh, I didn't think to consider having to put in more effort or whatever. Mm-hmm. Maybe we just share something that they just didn't consider, and they're like, okay, now I know I need to implement this, and then they go on to win. I'm good with that too.
Did God make us do this content studio just so we could do this video? And
Oprah, I mean, okay. God, I see you. All right. This has been a lot.
Yeah, this felt like a therapy session. And just so the viewers understand the whole purpose of this, we're making peace with the idea that we started a business that we were super excited about, that we thought was so dope, and we have to close it down in less than a year.
And if anybody doesn't understand why it's less than a year, because we got the keys in February, March, April, we opened in May. So
physically setting it up didn't take long, and ordering, because we had that ready, but there was so many backhand things that we wanted to make sure we had like a good foundation of.
Yeah, so I would recommend anybody starting, I would treat it like if you're flipping a house, because you want to flip that house as quickly as possible so you can start sooner. I guess do as much planning as you can beforehand so that once you get the space, you're ready to go. But I remember you wanted to order furniture, but I'm like, couldn't order the furniture. We had to wait. So that would be my recommendation for anybody that's going to start.
But even when we thought we were going to get that other space, we did a lot. For me, it was like, until we know we got a space, we can't put any more time and energy into the planning of something that we don't even have yet. So
and remember, we ordered that graffiti wallpaper. Right? Yeah. Wasn't that for the other space?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had ordered, and now we sitting with this graffiti wallpaper, and these people done pricked out on us.
I think that sofa, gray sofa we ordered ahead of time.
And they went to my garage.
So to me, I was like, we got to put a halt on how much more time and energy we're putting into this business that we don't even have yet because we hadn't found the space. Yeah. So planning ahead, I feel like we did a little bit of planning ahead, but a lot of it we couldn't do until we knew we had a space. We couldn't set up the website. And like, what else do you think we could have done? The marketing plan that you said that we should have
done. Could we have done pre-marketing? We needed pictures to even show, and the space wasn't done.
Yeah.
I remember us having a call with a marketing company, and it was like buku money. I wasn't even solid on what they were going to be doing that was going to have that much of an impact. And then the social media person that we had, they were basically doing posts, which even that, at the time, like, we couldn't handle no more on our plates. That's how we felt. Even though we ended up putting it on our plates anyway.
And even that's a lot for me.
Yes.
I'm struggling. I don't even post on Greg Lewis anymore. Barely. Like, if the spirit hits me, I post, and it used to eat me up if I didn't post or put something in my story. It used to eat me up. And now I'm just like,
you know why? Because the algorithm. You doing all this shucking and jiving.
And then you get like 2 likes.
Like,
yes.
Do more.
Because you're spending hours on editing, you're picking music, writing the caption.
The thing is, like, getting people off of social media, email lists, building your email list, getting them over to your platform, because these platforms decided to shut down. TikTok. Shout out to YouTube for my real estate, but when it comes to Meraki, when I tell you it was,
they didn't like Meraki.
I just wasn't getting no visibility.
Okay, what do you think is the next?
As far as what we're doing next, or
no? We're going to take the lessons that we learned here to prep for what we're doing next. What do you think is going to be the next thing? Whatever you share is the next best thing. It needs to be what we need to be jumping on also, right?
Oh yeah, I don't have that. I think we've talked about what the next thing needs to be, but I'm also watching this market, so we need to be wise about that too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I have right now to do. Well, it definitely ain't gonna be no brick and mortar space. We ain't signing no lease to lease a NAN. A lease if I was an established business and it had been going. Like, I was a photographer, which I love. I would love a photographer. If you're a photographer, you know a photographer that's looking for a space, or somebody that, you know, is a content creator and they're doing very well and they want a space. So somebody can come in, but to start something from scratch.
You know what is holding us to is not just the idea of a content studio. We love this actual space. Like, we can figure out what to change this into, and we knew it was going to work. I do not want to let go of the space.
Oh, I'm with you. We both thought about it. Like, how can we put our individual businesses in here? Do I just start a team just so I have a place
just so you can
use the conference room?
I do not want to give up the space.
This space is gold.
The location, the size,
the ownership.
Yes, the energy. Like, I don't know about you. When I walk in that door, like, there's good energy in this space. It's
never been a day where I got to get out of here.
Yeah,
I could come here and stay.
Yeah, all day. Yeah, like, we even moved. We were alternating our Zoom meetings and our in-person meetings, and we would just have them here. We used to go to restaurants but I feel like we're so productive here.
Yeah, that's another reason. Like, the meaning of Meraki. Like, when you came up with that,
we have not even talked about that through this whole video.
And looked up the definition. Meraki: to do something with soul, creativity, or love, to leave a piece of yourself in your work.
We're not giving up the Meraki business name, though.
Okay,
we're giving it Meraki Studios.
God, unless you have something for us.
So this video wasn't. I mean, if somebody has a bright idea on how to save the studio, we are very open, but the intent of this video was not for that. It was just to offer some transparency on 2 successful business owners coming together to start a business and it not working the way we
expect.
Yeah, and it's not that it didn't work at all. It's moving a lot slower than we prefer.
And financially, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we're dumping a lot of money into this every month to cover the cost. So we are getting bookings. It's just not enough.
Yeah. If I was stay-at-home housewife, Kim Kardashian money.
Absolutely. So we can just come take our pictures.
Yes. I could just come work here whenever.
It's a shame because I feel like we have the podcast set up. We have the conference room upstairs. We have the sets, like photography, videography, podcasting, training classes. Like, we have so much here in this space. Like, it didn't catch. It's not that it didn't work. It just didn't catch.
So that makes me think, it goes back to marketing. Like, we just didn't get in front of enough people.
And if we got in front of enough people, like, is it realistic to think that we're going to be booked every single day? Like, do you know of a content studio that's booked every single day?
But I assume they're getting booked enough to stay open.
I drove past a store the other day that was picture framing, or I forget, but sometimes and this is so bad, but I roll past and I'm like, how are
They
they
staying
staying
open. Nobody ever goes in there. No, I've seen businesses
Yeah,
like that
like
too.
you don't see a lot of traffic. You don't like. Is there really a need? I mean, I have art frames sometimes for like clients and stuff, but are they that busy? Or is there that much of a need for you?
Yeah. After event planner that I met, she was like, she's getting booked. So the money's coming in for her to do events, but they're not using her physical space. So she's using money that people are paying her to cover the expenses for her space. It's not equal out. So it don't make sense that she keep it. Maybe it's a point there. So that's when I think like picture frames, like, are they selling online or something to where they're selling that much online where it's covering their physical
Well, you're bringing
space?
your art there and they're making the frame, putting the frame around it. I've done that before. I know how much that typically costs, but is that really keeping your doors open?
I don't know.
Or y'all doing something out the back door? Like,
I've seen that, and I've also seen businesses closing. I remember being a little kid and going into a grocery store and was like, how do they know how much bread to, like, the behind the scenes have always
wow.
intrigued me.
All right. So
Before you said, remember that thought.
Okay.
Just to share, we've considered keeping it. And we've also considered like, what else could we do in the space to bring in income? I know we considered like doing events here.
I want to make sure whatever business I own, I enjoy it or I'm interested in it.
I thought you were going to say, I was like, this worked because you love interior design and I love content creation. So this made sense. We were both generally interested in it. But do you need to be interested? Like, we open laundromats. We both hate doing laundry, but if it's making money, like,
right? Like, is my thought process
wrong?
Yeah.
If to start a business, is it something that you need to be personally interested in?
I remember somebody approached me with buying a truck or doing trucking or.
Oh, that was a wave too.
But has that slowed down? Yeah, but there's a lot of people making money off trucking or was making money off trucking.
I mean, I think it's still happening, but it's actual work. Like, I think people were just riding a wave. So, of course, the ones that are really serious about it are going to be successful. But yeah, so I have absolutely zero interest in trucking.
But all it was you're just buying the truck and getting a driver and picking up loads, getting contracts with these places, and they're either taking loads out of state or they're taking loads.
That sounds good, but I know when the driver don't show up, the driver crashes. Now you got to find somebody to go out there, or now this person missed their load, so now they can't. Oh, it's involved.
Yeah, they're just not showing up today, and now you driving the truck. Now you pushing a 18-wheeler to North Carolina.
I'll be darned. Yeah, they don't care.
When they calling out, they don't care. But the person that you're in contract with, like, figure out how you get this load to me. Which I relate back to like my business. Like, okay, my assistant can't make it. I can't call the real estate agent and be like, oh yeah, we're not showing up today.
The other day, and you had a stage, and I just knew well into the evening.
You called to check on me.
I was like, friend, how'd it go today? You were like, I'm still here.
It was dark.
What?
It was dark.
I just knew you were home and cozy in your bed.
No.
On the couch.
I don't know if that bothered me so much.
I know it didn't because you enjoyed it, but golly, friend.
Yeah, I definitely needed an assistant on that job. But yeah, I was tired, but I was so pleased with how it turned out. And I was just happy that I knew my business well enough that I could do it by myself without an assistant. The dependency on, you just got to know, all right, I don't have him today. I got to figure this out, even if it takes me till the sun is going down. I'm gonna get it done. Oh, I was gonna ask you like what's next. So we're mentally preparing ourselves within the next couple of weeks. I'm dreading that email from the landlord. Like, are y'all renewing it? If something's gonna happen that help us to keep this place, like I hope it happens before we get that email where the landlord is asking us if we're gonna renew for another year. But we probably need to start mentally preparing ourselves for telling him no, we're not. Figuring out how we're gonna sell this stuff, and once the furniture is gone, planning a day to come tear down this wallpaper and put everything back to how it was before we came in here. I'm gonna take these chairs for staging though. So y'all gonna see these in some of my staging. But yeah, microphones. We're gonna have to hit up some podcasters, see if they need. These are good, expensive microphones. But yeah, like it's time to start mentally preparing ourselves to, oh my God, like the day when we have to hand that key back over. We have to hand that key back over to the landlord.
The day when I can't come inside here and just experience the goodness of this place.
Or no place to have our meetings.
And we're talking about just like the conference room. God, that's the upper room up there.
All right, well, we've accepted that as good as it is not paying the bills, and it is not alleviating the workload or the work that we have with our own business.
Hold back these tears. I want to slide on the floor. I want to just run out. I want to chain myself to something in here and say, we ain't going nowhere.
Listen, that's a man of faith.
Yeah.
God might be speaking to him right now. We ain't heard from him. He hasn't asked us yet if we're renewing. Like maybe something's in the works. All right. So we are going to,
I guess, stay tuned.
I hope this video did what we wanted it to do. Like anybody who has had a failed business or their business is failing right now, like maybe embrace it and not feel
like you're alone.
Not feel like you're alone, not feel embarrassed like we did.
And anybody starting a business, this gives good insight because a lot of the time you are just like trying to figure things out on your own.
Right.
I think anything, like I love hearing, you already know how I feel about business, but I love, like, I see people out there running successful businesses, like multiple successful businesses. Have a class, like you have a class where you are sharing, like, how are you actually doing it? Like, because a lot of people just get gatekeep. They don't want to share. So people that will give that information, it's a beautiful thing. So hopefully somebody got something from us. I'm intending for somebody to give, but
yeah. Do you feel like we still have a lot to learn as far as being entrepreneurs or business owners? Or do you think we have the basics down and maybe we still have a lot to learn and that's where the missight was?
Yeah, on one hand, it's like, I'm tired. Like, we've been at this for so long. And we just get the easy button. That's how. But then on the other hand, I'm like, apparently we do have a lot to learn.
Where do we have the easy button and we just don't notice it?
Where the easy button, friend?
Did you take vacations last year? Or maybe we are living in an easy button and just have not seen it yet because we're still working. I don't want to not work. I feel like I would go crazy if I was not working and just sitting at home.
And there's a thing, like, I've seen it called mediocre. Like, just be okay with being mediocre.
That's never been.
No.
I remember when I was doing my master's degree, I had to have, Cheyenne was young, my daughter was young. When I was doing my master's degree, we had Heart of the Core. And I was teaching full time, but I was determined to have a 4.0 when I graduated for my master's degree. And I would sit up and cry writing these papers, but I was determined. And I remember my professor was like, you giving yourself that challenge and that stress. Like, it's okay. If you pass with a C, you pass. Like,
you got
it's not even, So I set this idea up in my head, like I had to have a 4.0 for me. So I gave myself unnecessary strength. I'm not even using that master's degree right now, which is even worse. But I just never felt like I could do mediocre. Maybe because not doing mediocre has brought me as far as it has now. So now it's like, I can't even relate to that. But maybe mediocre is, because there's a lot of people doing mediocre.
And I think that's fine for them. Something I was reading, I wouldn't have the desire if I was supposed to achieve it. So those people that are okay with doing mediocre, that's their desire level.
Yeah.
And that's okay for you. Like,
they desire to just get by.
Yeah.
And I desire to be great at whatever it is that I'm doing. And I shoot myself in the foot for?
I wonder, because they're getting by, but they ain't stressing. They're not doing all this. This is how we set up. Yeah, it's how we're programmed.
I was asking, like, do you feel like this video helped you, gave you some insight, helped you purge? Because even though we're doing it for others, has this helped you as well?
It has given me some peace. I feel like we've had some aha moments as we talk today. And I'm not all the way there, though.
I feel like once we are out of the hole with finances, I'm going to be like, all right, what's next? I'm going to be excited again about the next thing.
Okay, I hope by that time, I need God to do something, because I feel like as of right now, I'm second guessing everything. I don't want to be that way.
Because we've never been that way with any past businesses.
But how about people just reaching out, like out the blue lately?
Yeah, we haven't even told them that. Like, yeah, you can't do this. Won't be there. Doors will be closed.
Time heals everything. So I know eventually, I know it's gonna suck. Like, I've recorded a lot of videos in this space, so I probably won't even watch them.
And I feel like I play off your energy. So you being like optimistic and positive about it has helped me to be like optimistic and positive. So I'm excited to see how we recover from this.
I pray our recovery and comeback is greater than how we're feeling right now.
I feel like it will be. I guess because of how our faith is set up and how things have worked out for the years of my interior design business, like everything that went wrong turned out to be something good. So I'm just curious to see like what it is and hoping that this is going to be another instance where we see something good come out of something that wasn't so great.
Remember when we were, and look at us now.
Oh yeah, we'll do it. Because I don't think we're done yet. Like we ain't got no choice. We definitely ain't done yet as far as like hustling.
Smart about it though. Not
work smarter, not harder.
Okay, well, we're going to sign out here. Again, I am Natasha Brazil. This is
Tamika Green.
We are currently in Meraki Studios. This has been our baby. But thank you for coming along with us on this ride. A sincere thank you to everyone that has truly supported us.
Yes.
Booked this space, loved this space,
shared this space,
shared a post,
wrote a review.
Yes.
Oh, all that was
encouragement. Thank you.
Yeah.
And for everybody else,
stop it.
I wasn't gonna do it.
I know you weren't.
But truly, thank you. So please drop a comment, like this video, share something, and we hope this is a blessing.
If you're watching this and you've been here before, share your experience with the space. After you seeing that where we are behind the scenes with it having to close, like just share your experience. And
I actually saw a business that closed. I can tell you now, I ain't gonna tell you before. It was a content studio. One of the people I had followed to get set up, she was open for like 5 years in Maryland. She closed. And she had everybody that had ever used the space, she asked them to send in like a video or whatever. But she was open for 5 years. She got closed.
Wait, is it the one I know about in Maryland?
Mm-hmm.
She closed. Okay.
Not the two. Remember, it was two I was.
Oh.
So it was
one you took a course from.
Yes, the one I took a course from.
Closed?
And so I feel like you'll resonate with the video, but I didn't want to send you the video earlier on because you was already kind of checking out.
She closed. Okay.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay. So we'll circle back in a couple.
Wait, you said a couple what?
Years?
Years?
We got to figure out what our next business move is and plan and make sure it's a success. Like
I feel like we need to do an update on like what ended up happening. Like, did somebody come in and did the landlord say, "You good"? Did we get it? Did God send us an idea to like keep the space? So we'll give you an update.
There's going to be a part 2. We'll update you on
what and just the what ends up happening.
Yeah.
All right. So
thank you guys for watching, and kudos to you, business partner.
We're
Sorry, I can't cuss.